Everyone, and welcome into this special interview for The Morning Bite. I'm Jillian Young from PC3 Media, and today I am joined by WWE NXT superstar Brooks Jensen. Say hello.
Hey guys, thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. So I'm really excited to ask you a bunch of questions today.
Bring it.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
All right. So I just want to hear a little bit about your upbringing and, what got you into this, what really got you into wrestling to begin with?
So not too many people know, but I am a second-generation wrestler. My dad wrestled for the WWE. His name was Bull Buchanan, and so I was just born into it, and being born into it is your life. Mm-hmm. Every day I watch him train, watch tapes, go on the road, drop him off to the airport to go to Japan. So I really just, not growing up into it, but loving it. I feel like the day I was born, just fell in love with it. I knew there was no plan B, there was no plan C, there was no backup career for me. It was just going to be professional wrestling.
Gotcha. So even though you were surrounded by it your whole life and you grew up in it, it still was a dream to you. It still was something that you knew you had to work for and really work hard to achieve. Basically, is that
Yeah, no,
is
yeah,
what you're saying
that's perfect.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like even if I wasn't born into it, I still love it.
Love it.
There's just, I don't know. There's something about it. I really can't explain. Maybe it's the fans, going out there in front of the bright lights and hearing that crowd chant your name. Mm-hmm. Something about it just brings the goosebumps. Yeah.
That's so special. So how did you get into WWE? And can you talk a little bit about the process of training at the Performance Center and all that jazz and what kind of goes into all that?
So I was trained by my dad, and there was an indie show called Evolve that worked with WWE, and they had a tryout for their show, and so I signed up and I tried out. Luckily, William Regal was there, and he saw me. He knew my dad. They were good friends, and he put in a good word for me to Triple H, and Triple H offered me a tryout. I want to say in November of 2019, and ever since then I got the call, got signed, moved down here in August of 2020, and ever since then it's been the best way to put it, it's like a high school for pro wrestling. I mean, at 8 a.m. you go in the ring, you train till about 10:30. After that, 11 o'clock, you go to the gym, you lift weights till about 1 o'clock, and then from 2 to 4, you're in promo class, and then right after that, you're possibly doing something on TV, or you're flying out, or your day's over with.
That's a lot, honestly.
It is, but when you have the love and the passion for it,
it makes it easier.
Which, fortunately, everybody in that performance center
does
have the passion and love for it, and you can see it by how hard they work.
That is very special.
Yeah.
I love that.
Happy holidays from Parlor Doughnuts and PC3. Oh, I was very busy this morning. Me and the elves were making sure the reindeer got fed because our visit's coming very soon. Merry Christmas!
Buying a house can be an incredibly stressful experience, filled with uncertainty and countless decisions. Fortunately, with Geisha Realty, that stress disappears. Geisha Realty is one of the leading realtors in Porter County, known for helping clients navigate the home buying process smoothly and efficiently. They understand the local market inside and out to make sure you find the perfect home that meets all your needs. If you are ready to embark on this exciting journey, reach out to the Geisha Group at 219-771-5634. Let the Geisha team make your dreams a reality.
Today's gonna be the day you notice. what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd, fire in the sunrise, ashes raining down. Try to hold it in, but it keeps bleeding out. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Heavy is the crowd. Heavy is the crowd.
This, my friend, is just the beginning.
Nobody outshines Nick Diamond.
So what are some of your favorite storylines that you participated in during NXT? I want to hear about it. We know you had some love interests here and there. We saw you kind of struggling a little bit later. So what's going on with all that?
Favorite storyline? Definitely me and Kiana. That one was. It wasn't supposed to happen. It was never meant to happen as big as it did happen. I mean, me being Brooks Jensen, being the lovable goofball that I am, not trying to find a girl, it was really just like a side note for me. But fortunately, everybody loved it, that they had to do something with it. And Kiana, she was perfect for the role. And yeah, I had so much fun with it with Josh, Fallon, and Kiana, just doing all the skits, like throwing them a party, Josh and Fallon dressing up in camouflage, sneaking into our office, the Sebastian, all that good stuff. But yeah, that love storyline was my personal favorite, and the most recent one I've done with breaking into the arena. And I think that's really put my name on the map. Because doing all that without the cameras being on, just relying on fans videoing it on their phones and posting on social media, it's never been done before.
Right.
So to do something new and innovative in this modern generation, I'm proud that I could get that over and present something different.
I feel like that's definitely something to be proud of too, because you are so young. Do you mind telling us how old you were when you got signed?
I was 19 years old.
19. See, that's only a year older than me. I could not imagine going, and like how you explained it, like all the training and everything that goes into it. I don't think people really realize all that, like how much actually goes into all of it. You know, they kind of just see it as maybe just like throwing yourself, on the floor, but you know, it's so much more.
Like I can't judge anyone because you're just basing what you see on camera.
Right.
You never see what's outside of it. And even I didn't either. I didn't realize that you are traveling 300 days a year. You are training 300 days a year. You're wrestling. You're throwing your body on the floor, essentially. And, you just never realize how tough and how hard it can be.
Yeah.
But when you step out in that curtain and you look at the lights, you hear your name being announced, you see all those fans that make the posters, that send the letters, that buy your merch, that buy the cards, that bought tickets just to see you for at most 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It makes you feel something.
Yeah, and it's just like knowing that all your hard work, is noticed.
Yeah.
And, those fans are coming and screaming for you. That has to be so special. I can only imagine. So what would you say your most interesting thing about being a wrestler with the WWE is?
Most
Interesting part about it, like if you had to pick one thing.
The traveling.
The traveling.
I love the traveling. I love just going to an airport or getting in the car and just driving down the road or flying over the city just to explore new things. I come from a small town in Alabama, so there's really not much to do in a small town in Alabama. So to be able to, like this past week, go to South Philly for the ECW arena and do a show there, to go to New York, to go even to the UK and fortunately get to wrestle over there. Just for a kid from Ranburne, Alabama, to do any of that, to even get on the plane, it means something to me.
Yeah, that's really special.
Yeah.
I love that. So I know your dad was a wrestler.
Yeah.
And he wrestled in Japan and all that. Did you guys travel a lot growing up because of that, or did the traveling sort of come like later when you got signed and getting to go to all these places?
So my dad was already gone from WWE by the time I was born, so he went to Japan.
Okay.
And we never went to Japan, but we would always travel up to like Columbus, Georgia, to Nashville, Tennessee, to even down to Orlando, Florida for some shows. But the travel did pick up once I got signed, because with WWE, that's you have to make the travels. You have
Commitment,
to
yeah. Cool. So what are your ultimate, goals with WWE? Like, where do you want to see yourself in the future with the company?
I want to be the best.
You want to be the best.
Yeah, I want.
Yes.
Like everybody else says, I want to headline WrestleMania. I want to be WWE champion. But overall, I want to be known as the best. I want to be the best wrestler. I want to have the most matches. I want to be the hardest worker there. And every day I go into that performance center, I make sure everybody does know that, and hopefully soon that hard work will pay off even more.
And you've been saying, you grew up with wrestling your whole life and it's been your dream, and obviously, this goes way further than just being signed. You've probably been training like years before that even, right?
So I started training when I was 12 years old. My dad was going to train my older sisters, and they just couldn't take the bumps and everything, but luckily I could. So at 12, he started training me, and then once I turned 14, I was a referee, so I could pay my dues and learn how to be in the ring, the footwork, and everything that goes into it. And then when I turned 16, that's when I had my first match, and ever since then, I've just been on the run.
Gotcha. Wow. That's amazing. Let's go back for a moment. As a student of the game, tell me what it was like to go to places like ECW Arena and places like that.
The ECW Arena is one of the last older buildings still left. I'm a sucker for old wrestling, for the history of pro wrestling. Like the Sportatorium is knocked down, the Omni is knocked down. So to go to the ECW Arena, one of those last venues that have history to it, was really cool, just to walk in and see the curtain where guys like Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, the Sandman, Raven, Tommy Dreamer, Terry Gordy, all these guys would come out and go and wrestle in front of, I would say, the most passionate fans in wrestling, the ECW crowd. Even to the part of going into the locker room and sitting there and talking to Steve Corino about what was it like to be part of that environment. And then the best part of it all was going to see the ECW mural and signing it, and just looking at it and seeing all those names on there and realizing that I am in a building with history. I'm part of history. Yeah.
Wow. And I bet that was just an amazing feeling all around.
Oh, yeah. It was
such a full circle moment for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So if you had to describe Brooks Jensen to your fans in one word, what word would you describe? Be careful.
One word?
Yeah. Sad?
Nah. Relatable.
Relatable. Interesting.
I think.
Tell us why. I want to know why.
My development through wrestling is relatable. If you look at when I started with Josh Briggs, I was the lovable country guy. Everybody wanted to hang out with me. Everybody just knew I was a good guy.
Yeah.
And then came the part where I couldn't find a girl, and I'm trying so hard to find that one girl, and my big brother helping me out trying to find that girl, doing the dating apps, the awkward talking to all the female talent in the locker room, and then finding the girl and thinking that this is the one, and then getting heartbroken.
It didn't work out too well.
Trying to recover from that.
Yeah.
And then my family, my tag team, we split up.
Right.
I'm trying to go on my own now. I'm trying to figure out who I am. I go against one of our most dominant wrestlers, Obafemi, and I get demolished. And then I'm gone. I'm in a lonely state of mind. And the only way to that is trying to find stuff to hide that feeling.
Yeah.
Just like anybody else would in life. When you're in that state of mind, you try to find a distraction. And that's what I did, and it wasn't a healthy distraction. And now I have a mentor helping me out, trying to help me see that light, see that there's more to this, whether it's right or wrong, seeing that there's different options.
Yeah.
So I feel like everybody goes through those stages.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that friend that can't get a girl, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Some of us are that person. I am that person. And then everybody knows that guy that hit rock bottom.
Right.
Then everybody knows that guy that's associated with the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I want people to see me and they see he's one of us.
Yeah, that he's a person.
Yeah.
And can be relatable. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview. For
Thank
the
you.
Morning
I really
Bite.
appreciate it.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
With everything to come up for you. And we will see you guys next time on The Morning Bite. Thank you guys for watching. Hi, my name is Jillian Young with PC3 Media, and today I'm joined by...
I'm Gwen Weaver, the 2024 Miss Porter County Fair Queen, and I'll be competing in the Indiana State Fair pageant the first weekend of January, so stay tuned on PC3.